Buying XRP now is like buying Bitcoin at only $1. But is it possible for XRP to be worth $100,000 per XRP? Well, in this video, we're going to discuss just that. And we're going to get into the XRP price chart and discuss what would need to take place in order for something like that to happen. We have to talk about Bitcoin global liquidity, where we are in the current market cycle with the current pullback for Bitcoin that spooked a lot of investors. The founder of Cardano, Charles Hoskinson's prediction for Bitcoin over the next 12 to 24 months, a $573 million bet that has paid off massively. What is happening with Dex Screener supporting XRP Ledger meme coins and some top projects to look out for. And then some major advancements for the XRP community that is laying the foundation for massive adoption. So if you guys hold XRP, comment 777. If you're feeling blessed, if you're feeling bullish, comment 777. And as always, if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. Let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So I just got back from Vegas. That's why I haven't filmed a video in like 3 or 4 days. We were at the F1 event, going to different blockchain meetings as well, meeting with some heavy hitters in the industry, big project founders of some of the top cryptocurrencies out there. And so we're planning some amazing stuff for you guys over the next few months as we gear up for the next leg up in this bull run. And when we look at XRP in this video and discuss everything that we need to talk about today, I want you to pay very close attention to this, because with XRP sitting at $1.40 right now, it is sitting right at about $80 billion market cap, pretty much at the high that it was at back here in 2021 at the peak of the last bull run, and virtually at the all-time high in terms of market cap. Now, as you guys know, the way that a cryptocurrency's price is determined is based on market cap and circulating supply. So while we look at the price right now sitting at $1.40, about halfway off from the true all-time high of over $3, the market cap is about $50 billion away from the all-time high. And the reason why that is because of circulation and how much of the max supply goes into circulation every single month based on the unlock schedule from Ripple's escrow account. So we're going to discuss that throughout this video. But the main thing to understand here is how bullish of a setup this is for XRP. For example, if we draw this descending resistance from the all-time high to the high of 2021, we had a clean break on the weekly candles. And what I would expect to happen is some form of consolidation period to potentially back test this descending resistance right here and just consolidate at it for an extended period of time leading into Christmas time, and then to see a break to the upside. Now, we don't know when that break is going to happen. Maybe it happens within the next week. Maybe it happens tomorrow. Maybe it happens in a month. Maybe it takes 2 months. The most important thing that just happened is this break of this 7-year macro symmetrical triangle, which is incredible. This is amazing. Now, I'm not here to get your hopes up. I'm going to talk about data. I'm going to talk about facts, but this is what we were preparing for. And when I say this is what I expect to happen, it doesn't mean that it's financial advice. As always, you should consult your financial advisor. Crypto is very risky. You could lose money in these markets. These videos are purely for education and informational purposes only. So I'm here to provide you with the facts, and what you choose to do, completely up to you. If you lose money in these markets, you're a full-grown adult. You can put on your big boy and big girl pants here. Take responsibility for your own decisions. I hope that's okay with you. If that is, then let's discuss everything else in this video that would need to take place in order for XRP to break out, because currently, as it stands, when we pull up XRP, the Bitcoin price chart, you can see that XRP follows Bitcoin, even all the way back to 2017. When XRP peaked out, it was roughly about a week or so after Bitcoin peaked out. But in 2021, for the true technical top of Bitcoin, on that exact same week, XRP peaked out. Now, sure, Bitcoin made a higher high, but if you guys have watched any of the previous videos, the true technical high was in April of 2021. And that was the exact same time that XRP peaked out, and then the bear market started. So on the 28th of October, when XRP went from about $30 billion upwards of $90 billion, well, sure enough, that's exactly when Bitcoin broke out from $68,000 up close to 100K, which is a big psychological resistance, profit taking. That's why Bitcoin's at 92K. And so Bitcoin consolidating at this level right here is completely normal. So as Bitcoin is pulled back, XRP's pulled back a little bit and is consolidating right now. Now, when we look at this, Bitcoin has tracked global M2 with a 70-day lag since September of 2023. And so this is not to alarm anyone, but this is another data point that we need to look at, because if this continues, Bitcoin could be in for a 20 to 25% correction. Global M2 is in white. Bitcoin is in orange right here. As you guys can see, Global M2 tends to move first, and then Bitcoin in orange catches up to it. And so with Bitcoin currently lagging behind global M2 and M2 pulling back a little bit, if we do see a steeper pullback for Bitcoin, it would bring us back down potentially to $74,000, $75,000. So that is definitely on the table here. And that's not something to be concerned about. In fact, that would actually be completely normal, as a lot of people are coming out there and telling you we're going to the moon, Bitcoin's going to 120, 150K. I want to prepare you guys for this. I was expecting Bitcoin to reach up to like 98, 100K, maybe at the peak 120K before a steeper correction, very similar to what we saw happen right around here before Bitcoin broke out of that pullback all the way upwards of $65,000. So Bitcoin did a 2x from the high of about 20K to 40K, and then it pulled back roughly about 30% before continuing higher. And so from the current level that Bitcoin rallied to, about 98, 99K, if we were to see a 20% pullback or a 27% pullback, that would bring it to 73,000. A 30% pullback would bring it all the way back to a little over $70,000. Now, because we consolidated for such a long period of time between March and the recent breakout for over 200 days, a potential back test of this region before we continue higher leading into 2025 would not shock me at all. Now, a lot of people would panic. They would freak out. If Bitcoin pulled all the way back to $70,000, guys, so many people would be thinking that the bull run is over. But yet 6 months ago when Bitcoin was rallying up to $70,000, people were so freaking excited. So sentiment can change in an instant depending on where we're at, because $70,000 on a pullback is a lot less exciting than $70,000 on a breakout into price discovery. Now, if this were to happen, I'm not saying that it will, maybe Bitcoin consolidates between $90,000 to $100,000 leading into Christmas, then breaks out and passes that $100,000 psychological threshold. But if this were to happen, XRP would most likely pull back to backtest this descending resistance. Or Bitcoin's pullback is what sends liquidity into altcoins to catapult XRP. Because when we look at Bitcoin's market cap dominance and when the dominance topped out, the last time was in December of 2020. The time before then was the 27th of February, 2017. When you look at XRP's price chart beneath this, you guys can see that as Bitcoin's dominance dropped, XRP exploded. So if we just witnessed the top of Bitcoin's dominance upwards of 61%, currently, Bitcoin's dominance is at 58%. If we just waddle around here for a little bit, then the dominance drops down to 50% or lower, then I would expect a lot of that liquidity to flow into XRP. So even with a short-term temporary pullback for XRP, that would just present a better buying opportunity, in my opinion, to just accumulate more because of what I'm going to share with you throughout the rest of this video. Because the last time Bitcoin corrected like this, it happened at the end of November in 2020 at the psychological level of the previous all-time high. And then Bitcoin catapulted and did a 2x. Now we're correcting at the 100K level, also a psychologically significant price level. So this is not a big deal. The cycle is simply repeating itself at the end of November, just like it did last bull run. And while this pullback is happening, we're seeing some macro bullish fundamental news happen. For example, China's Shanghai court made Bitcoin and crypto legal. Now, you guys know China has unbanned and banned Bitcoin over the past few years. If you're brand new to the crypto bull run this cycle, it's a game that they play to manipulate retail, because when they unban it, what they want is retail to buy up as much as possible. So that way the institutions can dump on retail at the end of the bull run cycle and use them as exit liquidity. That's why institutions were doing OTC deals off market earlier in the cycle, like BlackRock, other massive companies, to get a better deal on Bitcoin. And while new people come into the market and say stuff like, it's a super cycle, we're going to keep going up forever, we're going to prepare you guys for when that dump off is going to take place. And I'll be sharing with you when I'll be taking profits as well too. But listen to this. Cardano's founder is giving his prediction about what's going to happen with Bitcoin.
As good as Ethereum can be, and Solana can be, and Cardano can be, let's be intellectually honest about this. Governments are talking about a strategic reserve of Bitcoin and Bitcoin alone. It's their entry point. And perhaps in 5 or 10 and 15 years, that dialogue and narrative will change. But it is my belief that Bitcoin is going to go to $250,000 to $500,000 within the next 12 to 24 months because of the investment inflows and the great interest that has been achieved. This will translate to an ecosystem whose value is starting to approach that of gold, an asset humans have used as a store of value for over 5,000 years. Simply put, Bitcoin is the store of value for the internet, and it will remain in that role for the foreseeable future now that it has a DeFi layer.
And so with Donald Trump planning a strategic Bitcoin reserve, we saw the El Salvador's president Instagram story right here when he accumulated Bitcoin, and then he just blows everyone a smooch right here because a lot of people looked down on him for that and they thought he was going to destroy his country. But that was the smartest move that he could have possibly made. He was like 298 million. Now he's at 573 million. So if Bitcoin continues to break out, if it hits these price predictions of 150K, 200K, 250K, or $500,000, his portfolio is going to be through the roof. This guy's an absolute legend. But what's even more exciting is that just brings more liquidity into the overall altcoin market. For example, on dexscreener.com, you guys can see all the chains that are supported here, like Solana, Ethereum, Basechain, Arbitrum, Avalanche, Tron, Cardano, and right beneath Cardano, we now have the XRP ledger added here. And we can see all of these meme coins listed where you can see the volume, you can see the market caps of them. For example, this project right here, Ripple's RPLS, is sitting currently at a $5.8 million market cap, and it absolutely exploded since it was launched back on the 24th of October. So for the past month, millions of dollars have been flowing into First Ledger, and now that these are listed on Dex Screener, even more money is going to flow into the XRP ledger. Now, back in October when this project launched, I made a video sharing this with you guys when it was at a $16,000 market cap on the day of launch. And at the all-time high, it rallied to nearly $10 million. That's over a 500x. So hypothetically speaking, obviously there's no guarantees. That's like turning $1,000 into over $500,000. Now, if you missed that altcoin, that's fine. There's going to be a lot of opportunities coming this entire bull run. You do not want to miss the next one. And we're going to share those opportunities with you guys when they arrive inside of Altcoin Pro University. We've had about 413 members join thus far in the past couple weeks, and we're just getting started. For example, our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1 and is currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. And the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University through the link below. And although we make no guarantees because crypto is definitely risky, guys, this is only $97 a month or $970 a year. If you want to save $194, getting 2 months for free and unlock some exclusive bonuses, just go through the link in the description below. Get in right now. Watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers to help you become the first millionaire in your family tree. If that's a goal of yours, our goal is to help 1,000 members set their portfolio up for life this month. And you can get started through the link in the description below right now, or you can go to bullrunners.com to take advantage of the bonuses we're giving you before they expire. We have about 200 members right now, and we literally just launched like less than 5 days ago at the time of making this video. Everyone is loving the community. They're loving the education. They're getting access to real-time altcoin picks first before we ever make videos about them. So click the link in the description below, watch the video, and I'll see you on the inside. Now, when we look at all the news that's breaking for the altcoin market, XRP is absolutely dominating right now. Global ETF provider Wisdom Tree Funds has registered in the state of Delaware for an XRP ETF. Wisdom Tree has over $100 billion in assets under management. Also, another XRP ETF is on the way. With SBI Holdings teaming up with Franklin Templeton to explore an XRP ETF, they know something that the average retail investors do not know. So as these companies prepare for XRP ETFs, with Gary Gensler stepping down in January, we already got 5 big institutions: Bitwise, 21 Shares, WisdomTree, Canary Funds, Grayscale. The moment that BlackRock enters the game, this will provide massive liquidity to XRP. So it's only a matter of time, guys. This is all confirmed here. Now, BlackRock is the last domino to tip. And do you think BlackRock's just going to let Bitwise, WisdomTree, 21 Shares, Grayscale, Canary Funds have all the fun here? Of course not. My prediction is that BlackRock will create an XRP ETF, and that will send XRP absolutely flying. Now, all of this takes time, but David Andolfato from the U.S. Federal Reserve just said this.
People say, how can you trust, the Fed to do the bookkeeping? I mean, like I said, my response is, you don't expect the Fed to kind of steal your money. I mean, if the Fed can print all the money at once, it's not going to mess around with your bookkeeping. So, we have this big spreadsheet, the blockchain if you want, but it's just managed by the Fed, and it's very cheap, much cheaper than Bitcoin, if you're willing to delegate the responsibility to a third party. But then the downsides to all of that, of course, is you'd actually suppose you didn't want the Fed to be responsible for processing the payments. I mean, suppose, the Fed will likely impose some KYC restrictions on some purchases. They might not process some purchases that you might want to undertake. And so it was at that point that I said, well, we could, if we wanted to, extend the concept one step further. I'm not saying that this is ever going to happen, but just conceptually, you could imagine not FedWire for all, but kind of like a Fed coin, where what the Fed would do is actually just issue these, Bitcoin-like objects, but and they would enforce a par exchange rate with the U.S. dollar. That would eliminate the exchange rate volatility. But they could delegate the clearing of these payments to some third party, some sort of Ripple-like protocol, or possibly even Bitcoin. I mean, we could delegate the responsibility of processing these electronic, Fedcoin payments to the miners.
On top of that, Brad Garlinghouse has been having meetings behind the scenes. For example, if you didn't watch my previous video, listen to this.
It saw big surges earlier this week on speculation that its CEO held a meeting with the president-elect following his victory, and speculation that anti-crypto SEC chief Gary Gensler might soon announce his resignation, which we just talked about with former SEC director Norm Champ. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse, I got to ask you, the price of XRP earlier this week spasmed. It jumped about 10% after you liked a tweet earlier that suggested you may have met with President-elect Donald Trump. Any truth to those rumors?
I mean, I think like many of your guests today, I'm not going to comment on too many specifics here. Suffice it to say.
Okay, that's a yes. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But I respect that. But to me, it's a yes.
So as Thanksgiving comes up in a few days, Brad said he's thankful for this post that Gary Gensler made just a few days ago, saying on January 20th, I will step down as SEC Governor Chair. And we now have the SEC Commissioner explaining how Donald Trump wants to make the United States of America the crypto capital of the world. Ripple will begin to make their non-disclosure agreements public once the new pro-crypto administration is in place, and they will start revealing what they have been working on over the past few years that we've been uncovering for you guys each and every single day on this channel.
Commissioner, Trump wants to make America the world's crypto capital. How will the next SEC chair make it happen?
Well, good morning, Stuart. One of the things that President Trump is absolutely right is the current administration's war on crypto needs to stop. There are a number of things that we can do with respect to crypto to help make America one of the global leaders in crypto. First off, from a regulatory perspective, we can provide the appropriate clarity. Some crypto is not even a security at all, but we need to make clear whether or not you fall within SEC jurisdiction or not. Mm-hmm. If you do, we need, again, a set of rules so those players in this space know what to do, whether it's making an offering, if you're a broker-dealer, how you handle those sorts of transactions, how you custody and safeguard those, what it means for asset managers. One of the other very important things we can do is to create safe harbors and regulatory sandboxes to allow that innovation to occur. And finally, we need to work with the Congress, the White House, and other federal regulatory agencies to make sure we have a cohesive and comprehensive approach to crypto.
Well, you seem to have a pretty firm grasp of where you want to take the SEC. Gensler steps down on January the 20th when Trump comes in. Would you want the job? Would you take it?
Well, that's a decision for the president to make. What I can tell you is that whoever steps in that job, there is a lot of work that needs to be done to address some of the regulatory excesses, not only at the SEC, but at other administrative agencies. There are a lot of new rules and regulations that were rolled out. There are a lot of unintended consequences, many of which will need to be addressed.
You sound like you're auditioning for the job because you're coming out with all the things that Trump wants to see, right? Are you auditioning? Are you throwing your hat in the ring?
Well, I'm just going back to my experience in the last transition we had with President Trump. I was fortunate to be on our executive staff as a senior advisor to acting Chairman Michael Pivovar, who was named by President Trump to take over the agency after the Obama administration. And there are so many things, like the situation was back then, that need to be addressed. Back then, it was many of the regulatory overreaches that resulted from implementation of the Dodd-Frank Act.
Mark, I think your hat is firmly in the ring as of right now. Mark Ueda, thank you very much for being with us this morning. We really appreciate it, sir.
So you guys are going to see this all start to roll out over the next few months. A key Ripple partner reportedly connects Apple to Ripple Payments Network. So if you guys have an Apple phone, get ready for this.
If you look at Santander's announcement, what they've done is connected Ripple to Apple Pay and then allow employees to send money. So they don't have to worry about the complexities of AML and what happens if a payment doesn't get, but just step by step testing this out. Then they'll start taking it to selective customers. So then we're starting to talk about different types of pilots. It's not a Ripple pilot, but it's a customer pilot using our technology.
So as we get into what would need to take place for XRP to go to $100,000, if that's possible, or if that's all just a pipe dream, I thought this was a great post by Finance Bro. These are all the banks partnered with Ripple and ready to use. So you could be a finance bro, you could be the most intelligent person out there, or you can have borderline autism and still make money in these markets. You just have to be at the right place at the right time, and you have to buy at the best price. So Banco Santander, Bank of Indonesia, Bank of Thailand, MoneyGram, Cambridge Global Holdings, SBI Holdings. You got all of these guys. Look at this, UAE Exchange, Western Union, IDT, Arlington XRP Capital. Some of these I've never heard of, but you got other companies that I have heard of, you guys have heard of, like Westpac, Scotiabank, Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group, SBI Remit, Bank of England. I mean, come on, like virtually the biggest banks in Japan. Even the CEO of SBI said virtually all the banks over in Japan are going to be using XRP by 2025. We got Sony Bank, Hiroshima Bank, North Pacific Bank, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, Standard Chartered, Barclays, National Bank of Abu Dhabi, UBS, the Royal Bank of Canada, Credit Suisse, JP Morgan Chase, HSBC over in Hong Kong, and Shanghai Banking Corporation. Like, need I say more? I mean, come on, guys, this list goes on and on and on. So if you're watching this video and you're a finance reporter or you create content about crypto and you're not talking about XRP, either you've missed it entirely, you suck at your job, or you're totally corrupt, like Jim Cramer here, and your job is to give inverse signals to help people lose money because people are paying you off and they are in your pockets telling you what to say. I'm gonna tell you how it is, the good, the bad, the ugly, and if you don't like it, you can suck on the subscribe button. So here you go. Here's 17 reasons why it makes sense to be bullish on XRP. Now, that doesn't mean you should emotionally go all in like a football fan, take your shirt off and paint XRP on your chest and be the last one to leave the parking lot and get dumped on by institutional investors. But here's why it makes sense to have a portion of your portfolio allocated to it. And if you leave in the third quarter and you catch some profits on the way up and you're not waiting for these crazy conspiracy theory price predictions that we've seen out there on social media, and the reason why we're making this video to cover those today, then that's the smart, responsible thing to do. Unless you want to be the degenerate that's blackout drunk, waking up in your neighbor's lawn after the football game while the sprinklers are going, the cops are being called on you, and you lost your wallet, your whole portfolio's gone, and you just got dumped on, just being absolutely reckless. Well, you can do that as well too, but I highly advise against it. Number one, only digital asset in the US with legal clarity. Gary Gensler stepping down. Only digital asset officially declared not a security. Even while Gary Gensler was in office, the judge decided that. Faster, cheaper, greener than Bitcoin and Ethereum. As you guys heard Charles Hoskinson say, say Bitcoin will be a reserve, a store of value, not a transfer of value to be used by these big banks because it is too slow to do that. They need something faster and cheaper and greener to mine Bitcoin. It's a lot of energy to be able to do that. So XRP has virtually no gas fees, no delays, no nonsense. Very, very quick. If you've ever seen XRP, sometimes it takes like a second or less. The XRP ledger is the most secure blockchain. It has never been hacked. It's very easy to use. The Zaman wallet is better than MetaMask from every angle. It's the most effective way for cross-border payments for banks to use XRP as the bridge currency between fiat currencies. They have partnerships with the most powerful banks and corporations in the world, a lot of which they're on NDAs. Brad Garlinghouse in a previous interview said they've disclosed a lot of the central banks, but a lot of them they haven't because of those NDAs, because of the proprietary information and technology that they've been developing. It has a use case like no other digital asset. The adoption will be insane. Ripple has an amazing team. They defeated the SEC twice, something never seen before. They stood up for the entire crypto industry. So if you're in crypto and you hold other stuff and you don't respect, Brad Garlinghouse and the entire team at Ripple for that, then you don't even deserve the gains that are going to come in this market. Hats off to those guys for going through that, spending hundreds of millions of dollars. It's absolute crazy. Ripple is one of the most transparent digital asset companies out there, fully decentralized. You just need to do your research on that. It hasn't reached its old all-time high of $3.70 yet, while Bitcoin is in price discovery. Even with the little pullback right now, XRP is not in price discovery. A lot of liquidity is incoming. Numerous big players are ready to hit the buy button. We got the ETFs getting ready for approval for XRP. Many Ethereum whales are shifting to XRP because of the ETHgate corruption and Jay Clayton filing the lawsuit the day that he left office, giving Ethereum a free pass. A lot of insider corruption there. The stock market has been going down because of too many world conflicts. Wall Street is starting to realize that there's more money to be made in crypto. The XRP community is the most vocal, the strongest community in crypto, hands down. And that's not even a debate there. That's based on facts. For example, if we go to vidIQ, which tracks the search volume globally every single month for any keyword that you want to type into YouTube, for example, if I go in here and I type in XRP, you guys can see that the overall score is 87 out of 100, very high. It's one of the best keywords in the world. The competition is actually very low. It's 23. The search volume was 1.9 million, very high over the past 30 days. And if I look at related keywords here and I sort based on overall score to see the highest projects, it's right next to Bitcoin and Cardano. Now, Cardano recently broke out because of the price breakout, but Cardano's search volume is actually less than XRP. It's 800,000, whereas XRP's is 1.9 million. The only thing that really beats that is Bitcoin at 2.1 million. But yet virtually everyone in the world and in crypto especially knows Bitcoin. Not a lot of people know about XRP. So if the search volume for XRP is 1.9 million, just barely behind Bitcoin's, and then Cardano's at 800,000, look at where Solana's at. It's at 300,000. Where's Ethereum? Ethereum's all the way down here at 314,000, 79 out of 100. So when you have a high overall score, which means very high search volume, low competition, or very low competition in this case, XRP's competition is very low. We take my opinion and we take your opinion out of the equation here, and we just base our investing on logic. So now here's the logic that we need to look at. What artificial intelligence has to say rather than me. So I asked ChatGPT, is it possible for Bitcoin to get to $1 million? Yes, it's possible for Bitcoin to reach 1 million per coin, though this would depend on several factors. Below are key considerations that would drive Bitcoin to this valuation. Global adoption as a reserve asset or currency. We see that happening with Trump, global Bitcoin reserve in the United States, making America the crypto capital with Bitcoin first. Finite supply and stock to flow dynamics, because Bitcoin supply is capped at 21 million coins. You also have a lot of that being stored in off-ledger wallets, getting lost in transfers. Like if someone's going to transfer Bitcoin to the wrong wallet that's inaccessible or miss one little digit in that Bitcoin is gone forever. And so we're going to continuously see the supply diminish because of lost funds over time, which is actually a good thing. It sucks for the person who didn't get the address correct that they were sending it to, but because of the scarcity combined with its deflationary halving cycles, it makes it a prime candidate for massive price appreciation over time. The stock to flow model, which compares Bitcoin's circulating supply to its new supply, mined coins, predicts higher valuations as Bitcoin's insurance rate decreases. So inflation, weakening fiat currencies. We all know the spending power of the dollar is going down because of the Federal Reserve, the Treasury. They continuously print as much fiat currency as they need. Once they hit the debt ceiling, Janet Yellen, who's actually leaving office, which is great. So that goes back to corruption as well too. But once we've hit the debt ceiling, they've always printed more money. They've always raised the debt ceiling. Congress always acts 100% of the time, like the past 70 to 80 times or somewhere around there, they've raised the debt ceiling. So that's a fact. Institutional adoption, well, that's a fact. ETFs, BlackRock, all these big companies coming in, launching the Bitcoin ETFs, looking at other ETFs as well too. Technological layer 2 scaling solutions through the Lightning Network is massive. Global economic events with banks collapse, bank failures. You guys saw what happened. Silicon Valley Bank collapse. Bitcoin pumped, like 50% or 100% or something like that. Market capitalization perspective. So now, based on market cap, a $1 million Bitcoin would result in a market cap of $21 trillion, assuming all 21 million coins are accounted for. This is comparable to gold's current market cap of 12 trillion. Now, for Bitcoin to get to 21 trillion, gold wouldn't just stay at 12 trillion. Gold would rise with Bitcoin because of global M2 increasing. That just raises all ships, raises all tides, and raises all industries that are a flight to quality and safety rather than the US dollar in a savings account. And now, challenges to consider. So, the regulation risk, that's starting to go away with clear regulation coming in the table, and that's what is going to catapult Bitcoin this bull run. Technological risk, emerging technologies could disrupt Bitcoin's dominance. That's more specific for altcoins and Bitcoin's dominance dropping. So a lot of altcoins, I think, are actually going to outperform Bitcoin. Market sentiment, prolonged bear markets, leading into what the Federal Reserve is going to do with their effective federal funds rate come the next few meetings, how that's going to affect the 10-year to 2-year Treasury yield curve inversion, the market sentiment that would create in people selling out at the end of this bull run. There's energy concerns for Bitcoin mining, but the bottom line is, while reaching $1 million within the realm of possibility, it's going to require significant adoption, macroeconomic shifts, and while that most likely is not going to happen this bull run cycle, Bitcoin's trajectory over the next decade will likely determine whether that is going to take place, and I think Bitcoin is going to be worth way more than it is right now over the next 10 years, and I think $500,000 to $1 million by 2030, 2035 is definitely possible. So we also asked ChatGPT, what would that put the price of XRP if it maintained its current market cap dominance of Bitcoin? Well, as of November 27th, I guess ChatGPT's in the future here because it's the 26th at the time making this video. But if the dominance currently stands around 2.48% with the current price of roughly $1.42, if Bitcoin were to reach $1 million per coin with a $21 trillion market cap, maintaining XRP's current dominance would put XRP's market cap at around $943 billion. That's just if XRP stayed at like 2%. If it went higher than that, then that could put XRP in the trillions of dollars, 1 or 2 trillion, or maybe even higher. With a circulating supply of around 57 billion XRP, this would result in an XRP price of around $16.54. Now, that's far off from $100,000. So is it even possible for XRP to get to $100,000? And ChatGPT said it is theoretically possible for that to happen, but it is extremely unlikely under the current economic, market, and supply conditions based on the circulating supply. Here's the analysis of what it would take for XRP to reach $100,000. XRP circulating supply is roughly around 57 billion tokens, and that's going to be increasing over the next few years. At $100,000 per XRP, the total market capitalization at the current circulating supply would need to be $5.7 quadrillion. And for the people that are arguing, saying that like market cap doesn't matter, keep listening here. For context, the global GDP, around $100 trillion, global stock market, 120-ish trillion, global real estate, 300 trillion, gold market cap around 12 trillion. So a $5.7 quadrillion market cap is orders of magnitude larger than all global financial markets combined, which makes this scenario very unlikely under current conditions unless XRP would need to be adopted as the global reserve currency, facilitating nearly all cross-border payments and replacing the existing systems like SWIFT. Now, could that happen? Absolutely, it could happen. It's theoretically possible. This would require unprecedented global collaboration and acceptance with nearly all financial institutions using XRP for settlement. And while they could be preparing for that, and that's what the NDAs could be all about behind the scenes with over 1,700 non-disclosure agreements, there would also need to be some form of massive token burn. XRP supply would need to be drastically reduced because, for example, Bitcoin has a supply of 21 million. XRP's max supply is 100 billion. So we've seen how long it took Bitcoin to get up to nearly 100K, and Bitcoin's still struggling to break 100K with this pullback. But there still would need to be a massive supply burn as well too to speed that up for XRP. Also, hyperinflation or fiat collapse. In a scenario where fiat currencies lose almost all value due to hyperinflation or a complete collapse of the financial system and a financial reset, XRP's price in fiat terms would rise astronomically. However, this would reflect the collapse of fiat, not necessarily XRP's inherent value. Also, a quantum leap in utility and adoption. XRP would need to power all global financial transactions, including retail payments, derivatives market, real estate transactions, and more. The derivatives market is somewhere up there in the hundreds of trillions to quadrillions of dollars. So XRP would need to bridge and be backed by all of that. XRP's transaction volume would need to dwarf that of all current financial systems combined. So while that theoretically is possible, the challenges for that, number one, would be liquidity constraints. Current global liquidity cannot support a 5.7 quadrillion market cap for a single asset. According to ChatGPT, the infrastructure and financial capacity to process transactions at such a scale do not exist. Regulatory and political barriers, governments, not just in the United States, but overall central banks in other countries are unlikely to allow a private or decentralized currency to dominate the global financial system entirely, unless they are forced to by the powers that be. There's competitors, there's saturation because of dilution through a bunch of different projects in the space. XRP would need to outcompete basically all other cryptocurrencies in traditional financial systems, SWIFT, CBDCs, etc. for this level of dominance. Economic implications, such a valuation would disrupt global economies, leading to extreme wealth redistribution, which is politically and socially improbable. So here's the bottom line according to AI. While it is theoretically possible for XRP to reach $100,000 per token under extremely and highly improbable conditions, it's not realistic under the current or foreseeable global economic structure, especially in this bull run. A more achievable target would depend on factors like adoption, utility, and partnerships with financial institutions. And so when I say lots of people are saying that market cap doesn't matter because of the other factors like bridging countries' fiat currencies, the derivatives market, daily foreign exchange volume, replacing SWIFT, etc., the argument that market cap doesn't matter in the case of XRP is based on its intended utility and unique use case. Proponents of this view suggest this because of these factors right here, like the utility is more important than the market cap. There's high transaction velocity, bridging fiat currencies, derivatives, SWIFT integration, reduced circulating supply via escrow and lost tokens. But here are some counter arguments that we need to look at. The perception of value. Market cap is still a useful metric for comparing assets. Saying that market cap doesn't matter is still speculation. I haven't seen one person prove to me why market cap doesn't matter, because it matters for every single cryptocurrency right now. So unless you guys can prove it in the comments below or reach out to me directly on Instagram, RunLifeNick, and explain that to me to help me better understand that, I'm an optimistic realist here. If you can prove that to me, great, I'll take your side on that. But so far, nobody's been able to prove that to me. Even if XRP captures significant market share in global financial systems, the total value of all XRP for the market cap must remain proportional to the economic activity it facilitates. So high prices require deep liquidity. If the market lacks sufficient liquidity to support high prices, volatility could undermine its utility. So while the argument that market cap doesn't matter has some validity in the context of XRP's utility, it doesn't fully negate the concept of valuation limits and how price is determined based on circulating supply and market cap. So I would love to eat my words there and see near global adoption for multiple use cases of XRP, widespread acceptance by financial institutions, dramatic shift in how global liquidity is managed. It'd be the most amazing thing to see because I hold the XRP, but I'm not going to get caught like the drunk football fan with my chest painted after the fourth quarter thinking that the game is going to continue and then round tripping my bags all the way back down for a 50, 70, or 80% correction, having to wait till 2030 to sell again like 99% of XRP holders. That's why I highly suggest for you guys to join Altcoin Pro University through the link in the description below, like over 400 people that are subscribed to the Bull Runners channel have done. It's only $97 a month or $970 a year, 30-day money back guarantee, no questions asked. If you're unhappy for whatever reason, worst case scenario, you'll learn something new. Best case scenario is what we teach actually works. As you guys can see right here in the back office, we have different announcements, general discussion, market updates, altcoin picks, community picks, airdrop picks, DeFi yield picks. We have an entire classroom for you guys to be able to go through, and this entire curriculum that our research team put together for you is absolutely incredible. But don't just take my word for it. Go to the link in the description below, watch this 26-minute video, right now because the time is running out to back up our trucks all the way to the bank, grab the rest of the bags, pack them and stack them, leave no bags left behind because we believe that the spending power of the dollar is going to continue to go down in value. That's a fact based on inflation. Blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology, cryptocurrencies have been going up in value. That's the truth. And together, we're all running to the top. I'll see you guys on the next video. I will see you on bullrunners.com right now. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish.
Hey bull runners, this is super time sensitive, especially if you're looking to stack more crypto before the bull run is over. Did you know that Visa and MasterCard lost a $5.5 billion class action lawsuit for imposing unfair fees on merchants and business owners? So if you own a business or if you know any business owners that process payments with Visa or MasterCard between 2004 and 2019, that's 15 years, you could actually be owed a refund of 1 to 1.5% of your total revenue from that period. That's a lot of money. For example, this business that generated $1.6 million in credit card revenue during those years is getting back $28,000. This business that generated over $7 million is getting back $93,000. And this business that generated over $20 million during those years is getting back over $320,000. That's money they didn't even know was on the table. And all they did was fill out a form through the link below this video. It literally takes less than a minute to see if you qualify, but you don't want to wait too long because the deadline to file is February 4th, 2025. So the sooner that you fill out the form below, the sooner that you can reclaim what's rightfully yours. Plus, if you don't have a business, you can actually earn 3% by referring businesses that do qualify by creating your affiliate account through the link below. So this is a no-brainer way to get money back in your pocket to use for your business, or if you want to use it for crypto or other assets to invest in, you can do that. So click the link below. Let's get you paid.